Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am throwing together two really quick and simple, very affordable recipes. This right here is for chicken nuggets. I make homemade chicken nuggets instead of buying them in the large bags. It is absolutely more affordable and it comes together in about 15 minutes. Plus, you can freeze these and pull them out as needed. So you only need one egg, and this is even optional, but Walmart had ground chicken on sale this week. So these packages here were $3.24 a pack. Right now, that's even cheaper than hamburger. So um, this is great. And even if you don't like chicken nuggets, you can make chicken patties out of these. You can add whatever seasoning you want. I always season any kind of meat that I'm using with salt and pepper. And then we're going to give this a really good mix. Really, the flavor in these comes from the um, the breadcrumbs. So I add more seasoning to the breadcrumbs than I actually add to the meat. But you can put anything in here, garlic, salt, pepper. Um, Surprisingly enough, I am actually going to add some pickle juice to these. I have tons of pickles that are sitting in the fridge, and I'm going to add probably about 2 tablespoons of pickle juice in these. Now there you can see all the good seasonings. There's some parsley in there, paprika, um, Parmesan, garlic, but you can add whatever you like. And then I use my measuring spoon, that's a tablespoon, and I scoop out a tablespoon's worth of chicken, flatten it out a little bit, and roll it in my breadcrumbs. Egg mixture first, and then the breadcrumbs. You don't necessarily have to do the egg mixture. You can go straight for breadcrumbs if you'd like. And just kind of shape your chicken nugget however you like. These, of course, are going to be a little bit larger. So, where my girls generally sit down and eat, so if you go and you get nuggets from the store, they usually eat anywhere from maybe 6 to 10. When I make these, they eat more like 4 to 6 because they're a little bit on the larger side. I also feel like, you know, there's not a whole lot of extra that's going into these nuggets. I know that when we get our convenience food, there's can be some fillers in there unless you're buying an organic brand that has some clean ingredients in it. But these make some really good sized chicken nuggets, and I feel like my money goes further when I make them at home. You can even get the kids to help you with this. The girls love to squeeze the chicken. What can I say? They love to help, especially if it's anything messy. So here's an example of the chicken that I've just thrown in the breadcrumbs. You don't necessarily need the egg, and you just shape it however you would like and put them on a cookie sheet. You can cook these as is at 350 or 375, or go ahead and flash freeze them and then store them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. Now here is probably one of my new faves. Instead of chicken pot pie, I am taking a leftover roast and making a beef pot pie. So I have leftover vegetables, I have leftover roast. I made up a quick gravy in the pan with the leftover broth from the roast, and I am throwing together a pot pie with a store-bought crust. So that in itself, I think they're $2.99 at Kroger's right now. So I'm not really great at making homemade crust, so store-bought crust works for me. But this comes together super quick. You only need about a cup to 2 cups worth of broth, depending on how much of that good gravy that you want in it. This is going to be a deep dish, so I've got about a cup and a half's worth of gravy mixture there. Now this comes together really quick. You have all the ingredients and you're just reusing what you have. I love when leftovers can become a whole nother meal, and it is more appeasing to family members when they don't have to eat the same thing again. So after I get all the meat chopped up, I just throw everything in this one pan. The vegetables are in there, the gravy mixture is in there, and all the meat's in there, and I'm going to mix it really well until it's all incorporated, and then we are going to move it over into a pie dish. Now this is totally up to you. You can do the mixture directly into a pie dish and put the pie crust over top, or you can put a pie crust in the bottom, cook it for about 10 minutes, and then add the mixture to it and add another pie crust on top. I've even done this where I haven't cooked either one of the pie crust and it still came out, but the crust on the bottom was just a little less crunchier. It seemed moist. So as you can see, this was more than enough to fill this pan. And just kind of smooth it down, and we're going to throw our pie crust on top. It really doesn't get any easier than this. Now you can tuck this pie crust in, you can make a fancy fold, you can pinch it. It's however you want to do it. I do kind of tuck my extras in. I don't like to trim off the extras because I feel that it's kind of wasteful, but I'll kind of tuck them in the sides, press them down, and then I'll go back around and kind of pinch the dough together just to make it look pretty. Okay, you also want to cut a few slits in the top of the pie. At least put 4 in the top. You can put more if you'd like. This allows the steam to vent out. Occasionally, I have had a little bit of the gravy seep out of the top, but very rarely has that happened. Now you'll want to take 1 egg and you'll want to coat all the pie crust in it. This is going to give it a beautiful, nice brown, shiny pie crust when it is finished. And it also helps to keep it from burning. Make sure you've preheated your oven to at least 375 and place this in a preheated oven. As you can see, it came out beautiful. We're not delicate with our pie. If you have the crust on the bottom, you can actually get it out in a perfect triangle, but we just dive right in, scoop it out, and enjoy. So thank you guys for joining me on my journey today, and I bless you on yours.